मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महान करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. We will also do the Mangalacharan of the 4th chapter. इस भव के सब दुख निके कारण मिथ्या भाव तिनकी सत्ता नाश करी प्रगटे मोक्ष उपाव. आचार्य कल्प पंडित प्रवर टोडरमल जी's मोक्ष मार्ग प्रकाशक 4th chapter, exposition of false belief, false knowledge and false conduct. And under false belief we were considering the errors that we do regarding 7 fundamentals, and out of that Jeev and Ajeev tattvas we had discussed, and I had given you homework. Okay, so now I'll ask anybody each paragraph. We are on to page number 112. Himalaya, I'll make you a co-host.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So Pratibha ji, tell me. Further, because of union and disunion of the atoms, which flows out of 4? Oneness, mindness, doership, enjoyership.
It's oneness and also mindness.
Very good, very good, very good. Then the next paragraph, Rekha. Further, the gati, state of existence, cool, etc. are found from the viewpoints of the body. Which flaw?
Sir, can you repeat, sir, further the?
You have the textbook with you?
Yes, sir. Page number 112, sir.
Yeah, last paragraph, 112, last paragraph. Have you done the homework?
This is the last one, sir.
Yeah.
Enjoyership, sir.
Pardon?
Enjoyership, sir.
Oneness.
Okay. Oneness.
Next paragraph, Amita ji.
सर ये वननेस और डुअरशिप मैंने लिखा है. डुअरशिप नहीं होगा क्या?
Oneness ही होगा क्योंकि I am human, I am animal, I am plant, I am Vaishya.
So won't it also be bhoktutva like suffering? Ekatva and bhoktutva, no?
Where is the suffering coming here?
Sir, I have my limbs cut, I am old, I am obese.
So I am means oneness.
Yes, sir. Oh, so only ekatva?
Yes, only ekatva.
Oh,
Predominantly we have to see, okay?
okay, sir.
Okay, next paragraph is also oneness. Now the third one, Amita ji, you say, due to the relationship with the body.
I'm sorry, I don't understand which paragraph it is in Hindi.
The
113,
para
page
the
number.
next page.
Achha. Okay.
No, I've got the Hindi book, sorry.
Okay, in Hindi.
I've done my homework, but I cannot
So
figure
you
out
just
which
read out,
one.
paragraph you are in, I will tell.
Okay, which one? I have done all of them, so.
Third one.
Oh, there confusion ho raha hai. Sorry.
The class where we ended, from there the third paragraph. शरीर के साथ संबंध.
This one. Due to the relationship with the body only, he believes.
शरीर की अपेक्षा अन्य वस्तुओं का ये वस्तुओं से नाता मानता है ये.
Yes, this one.
Yes.
So शरीर ही की अपेक्षा अन्य वस्तुओं से नाता मानता है.
That one.
जिनके द्वारा शरीर की उत्पत्ति हुई उन्हें अपने माता पिता मानता है. वो उसमें ममत्व है.
Right.
So, for the previous one, I wrote ekatva plus mamatva plus bhoktutva. That's wrong, right?
Which one?
So, further the gati kul are found from
So
the
I am human, I am animal is ekatva,
right.
and
And then
from the union and disunion of the body point of view, birth and death takes place, treating it as his own. Own is again ekatva mamatva, right?
yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah, ekatva only. Now,
I
Only
wrote
ekatva.
bhoktritva too.
Even I wrote ekatva mamatva bhoktutva.
okay. Anyways, if one is there, the other two are always there. But the thing is that we have to see what is being depicted here. So, Amitaji, what is in this paragraph that I asked you?
The तथा शरीर की अपेक्षा वो वाला कुलादिक.
Right. No, not that
हाँ.
one. Next one.
हाँ, तो मैंने उसमें ममत्व कहा.
Okay, right.
तथा शरीर ही की
Yes.
अपेक्षा अन्य
Okay.
वस्तुओं से.
The next paragraph.
Sir,
What
I have
more?
a doubt, sir. मैंने
Where?
doership लिखा है, sir. Due
किसमें?
to the relationship with the body only, he
Hmm.
believes having kinship with other things.
Hmm.
तो ये doership नहीं होगा, sir?
Doership नहीं होगा ना, ममत्व है ना. He treats them to be his parents who have been instrumental in giving birth to his body, है ना? To
नहीं,
her who dallies his body and he accepts as his wife to him, which got birth by his.
अच्छा,
तो ममत्व ही है इसमें.
अच्छा.
The next paragraph, what more to say? मधु जी आप बताइए.
दोनों तो हाँ, ये दोनों को एक संग मैंने लिया है, सर. What more to say? Due to relationship and what more to say? ये दोनों मैंने एक संग लिया है, तो मतलब साथ में होगा.
खाली
I'll
आप
just,
ये बोलो ना, what more to say का वाला.
I'll just say, what more to say? He believes himself and the body as one in all respects. तो ये भी oneness हुआ क्या, sir?
Yes, oneness. Next,
Okay.
this jiva is having sensory knowledge.
हाँ,
Who is left? Hemali, yeah.
अच्छा, ठीक है, sir.
So, again, I-ness, sir.
Yes,
ekatva.
oneness, right.
Yeah.
Then next paragraph, there exists an uttermost cause and effect relationship. Pratibha ji. It's
I
mentioned
said
here.
oneness for the
Oneness.
cause and effect.
Oneness. Next paragraph. Further, sometimes an association of external things. Madhu ji.
Oh, sorry. Mindness. Actually, मैं
Mindness,
off
right.
कर दी थी. हाँ, yeah.
So now the conclusion. Sometimes such sort of hallucination means delusion, okay, about the sun, etc., arises that their existence is my existence, okay, and due to wrong belief, the characteristics of the body are perceived only contrary to their nature. He believes transitory as permanent, separate as inseparate, cause of sorrow as cause of happiness, sorrow as happiness. Such contrary feeling generates. Why? Because of delusion, because of this hallucination. Okay. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of Jiva Jeev Tattva, wrong belief persists. So, this is the first part. Now, the other 5 fundamentals: influx, bondage, stoppage, dissociation, and liberation, that we are going to discuss one by one. So first one, wrong belief about Asrav Tattva. Pratibha ji, read.
Okay. Wrong belief about Ashrav Tattva. Further, owing to the rise of Mohaniya karma, the deluding karma, mithyatva, wrong belief, and kashais, attachment and aversions, passions, etc., disposition are caused in this jiv. He, the misbeliever, believes them to be as his nature, does not know them as caused by the rise of karmas. He believes perception and knowledge, the upyog and these influx, disposition, thus ashra bhavs, to be as one thing because their substratum is the same one soul and the change of their modification happens on the same moment of time. Therefore, the distinct nature of this is not comprehended by him, and the thought, the knowledge, which is the cause of realizing distinct nature cannot evolve owing to the force, severity of wrong belief. This wrong belief and passions are found with restlessness, hence are distressing in the present and are the cause of karmic bondage, therefore will produce misery in future. He, the misbeliever, does not believe them, so and knowing advantageous indulges himself by engrossing in these dispositions. Further, he becomes miserable because of his own wrong belief and passions, and in vain considers others to be the cause of misery. For example, the jiv becomes miserable due to wrong belief but considers that substance irksome which does not modify according to his belief. And one becomes sorrowful due to anger passion, but he considers that thing distressing with which he got angry. One becomes miserable due to greed, passion, but he considers misery being caused by not getting the desired thing. Similarly, one should understand in other respects also. Further, whatever fruition of this influx dispositions takes place, same is not cognized by him. Due to severity of these passions, one gets birth in the hell, etc. And due to mildness of this, one gets birth in the heaven, etc. There he experiences more, less restlessness, misery, but one does not cognize it to be so, and as such, those dispositions, the influx, do not appear to be bad. The reason in this that these dispositions appear to be produced by him, therefore, how to believe them to be bad? Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of Ashra Tattva, wrong belief is caused.
So you see, because of wrong belief about influx element, okay? So further owing to the rise of monia karma, okay, deluding karma, mithyatva. So monia karma has two division. One is wrong belief and the others are passions, okay? So because of darshan monia, the wrong belief appears, and because of charitra monia, the passions are manifested, okay? Then where does he does the mistakes, he believes them to be as his nature. So there are two things. One is soul's knowing capability, okay? Every moment soul knows. In every modification, this knowledge is always there as a common factor. Now the other factor is influx, the attachments, aversions, delusions, all these. Now he believes both of them as one. See the next line. Believes them to be as his nature, but does not know them as caused by the rise of karmas. So these attachments and aversions and wrong belief is because of the rise of karma. Okay. And he believes that passions and his knowing capability as one. See the next line it is given. He believes perception and knowledge. Perception is dekhna, knowledge is janna, upyog. He believes upyog is active consciousness, okay? He believes active consciousness and these influx dispositions to be as one thing, okay? Both are different. There is a clear-cut demarcation between the active consciousness and the influx element, okay? But he considers both as one. So this is the error regarding Asrav Tattva. Because their substratum, what is this substratum? Substratum means base, foundation, Adhar, because this even this influx disposition and this active consciousness both arises in the same soul, okay, same moment, because their substratum is the same one soul, and the change of their modification happens on the same amount of time, same moment of time, not some amount, but same moment of time. Therefore, the distinct nature of these is not comprehended by him. Okay. One is because of the influence of karma, the influx, and the other is soul's own inherent nature to see and know. Okay. So, two different substances working independently of one another but simultaneously. So, this soul believes them to be as one. But there is a very clear cut demarcation. If you stand there and analyze, you can easily see the demarcation line. And there, from there, you have to do the distinction, Bhed Vigyan. Okay. So, there you have to put that Pragna Chini so that both gets different. They are already different, but because of delusion, we believe them to be as one. Now, by reading Jinvani and by contemplating and analyzing, you will be able to see the difference between the two. Okay. Therefore, the distinct nature of these is not comprehended by him, and the thought, which is the cause of realizing distinct nature, okay, that thought only does not arise because of delusion. So the main job of delusion is to stop you from practicing discriminative knowledge, right? So every time you read Jinvani, every time you contemplate, every time you take a decision, that delusion reduces. So you have no other option to keep on practicing, and the delusion keeps on decreasing, provided whatever you read, whatever you contemplate, the purpose should be to come at the decision. If you don't decide, you just go on reading, then you are zero, no progress. But if you are able to stop there, just read one line. Okay, how you should read? Just read one line and think. Just as we now scan no QR code, how do we do that? We take our camera, mobile, and just hold it over there, right? And in a few seconds, it catches up. Similarly, you have to read one line and just hold on. Pause. Pause is a very beautiful instrument. The moment you pause, the thoughts automatically arises, about that same particular thing. And when you analyze or contemplate, automatically you have a decision with you. So this is your only effort. You have to read, analyze, contemplate, and make a decision. And the moment you make the decision, the delusion gradually reduces. Every time you pick up a Jinvani, you read in this manner, you come at a decision, and the delusion goes on decreasing. Although it is something that is happening at the karmic level, soul's only effort would be to just read the Jinvani, contemplate, and decision. Simultaneously, the delusion keeps on decreasing. The duration keeps on decreasing. The impact keeps on decreasing. And as it decreases, your effort also increases. So it is both inversely proportional. If you put in effort according to Jinvani, the delusion decreases. And if the delusion decreases, your effort becomes more sharper. Okay. You are more you become more expert in practicing discriminative knowledge. Okay. So then you find everything coming easily your way. You are able to understand better. Yesterday one of my students called from overseas, that this is the 10 Lakshan, that is the best I have been so far, because now I understand better. Okay. So it always happens that way. Excuse me, just I'll to open the door 1 minute. Yeah. So like we are, so he is in the 6th sem, so we are in the 4th sem. So the more you practice, the more you read, the more you contemplate, sharper will be your knowledge, sharper will be your practicing discriminative knowledge skill. So this is again an art. Jainism is a science and art. Okay. Science because everything is done logically, and art because again this is a skill. How to discriminate is a skill. You have to apply every now and then. You have to pause. So once you start doing this and you form a habit over a period of time, then it comes very naturally to you. You are able to, just reading one line, you are able to extract the essence of it immediately. And not only in the manner to increase the knowledge. No, increasing knowledge is not our motto, but to sharpen our discriminative knowledge skill. That should be the only motto. Whatever you read is not for expanding the knowledge, but there is a purpose that we want to practice discriminative knowledge. We want to happy in all situations. So when there is an adverse situation in your life, now supposing you have got some disease in your body, right? Now what you have to do? The medicines you have taken, the doctors is doing their duty, but as an individual, every moment you are passing time, right? So in that same moment, if you practice discriminative knowledge, that see the body's function is independent. I am not the body, I am the soul. So in soul, there is never an adverse situation, because soul's duty is to know. And if you are knowing, you are doing the correct thing. Your function is just to know, and you are knowing. So that means you are manifesting according to your true nature. True nature, and your true nature is to just know. Okay. So if you remain an knower, you don't mind new karmas. Okay. If you become a doer, doer of what? Doer of body, doer of thoughts, doer of external causes, many things, we have doership of many things, because the belief attribute is manifesting every moment. Either it is manifesting right or it is manifesting wrong. But never a moment any of the attributes stop functioning. No, it never happens. Every attribute has a modification. And what we are experiencing now is sum total of all the modifications of all the infinite attributes at the same time. So we have a collective feeling of all the attributes modification. Okay. So the three attributes are main, and out of that again one is main, and that is belief. Okay. So wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct. These three are important out of the infinite attributes that are manifesting in an opposite manner. Okay. Only three are important. And out of these three, if you get hold of this belief system, you change your belief system, then all other becomes right. If the wrong belief goes and right belief manifests, then the knowledge also becomes right and the conduct also becomes right. Okay. So we have to just work on the belief system. As we read Jinvani, as we read contemplate, our wrong belief always goes away, because we have a belief that whatever is there written in the Jinvani is according to the Jinendra Bhagwan's Divya Dvani, divine sound. Okay. And it cannot be wrong, because Our Bhagwan is omniscient. He can see all the things at the same time. So he has no reason to tell you wrong things. One part. The other part is he is passionless. He has destroyed all types of karmas, bhav karma, dravya karma, and no karma. Bhav karma is psychic karma, dravya karma is material karma, and the no karma is quasi karma. All three has destroyed, so there is no passion left over to tell you lie. Okay, so these words and their meaning connects to your knowledge system. When you come under a Wi-Fi network, what happens? You automatically start downloading or whatever you want to connect through internet. It all happens. Similarly, we also have this Wi-Fi network. The moment we read Jinvani, our knowledge system gets aligned with that Jinvani, and it keeps on rectifying the mistakes that we had, rectifying the wrong beliefs that we had, and wrong belief goes on destroying, and right belief starts creeping in. Okay, and simultaneously there is something happening in the karma theory. Okay, our delusion is getting reduced, and the moment the delusion goes away, right belief will evolve. But even before right belief is involved, you are into that system. Your work is in progress, and every day your confidence increases. Okay, the more you read Jinvani, the more confident you become. Okay, and that gives us a that's a checking point for us. Whether I am better off today than yesterday. This should be your checking point. Not I am better than Himali or not. No, that should not be the comparison. What I was yesterday and what I am today. Is there an improvement? Yes, then you go ahead. This is the right way. Okay. So this way, gradually the delusion goes away. No problem. Okay. Because all these 5 Parmestis, they were like us. All these 5 supreme beings were like us one day. They do existed in this mundane existence. And from there they rose to that height, and we can also do that by following their footsteps. Okay. So there is no problem at all on any side. Okay. So this is the mistake about belief system, and by understanding it correctly, you can get rid of that wrong belief. Now the next is wrong belief about Bandh Tattva. Himali. Sorry, Madhuji.
Yes, sir. Wrong belief about Bandh Tattva, bondage. Further, karmic bondage of knowledge, obscuring, etc., type of karmas is caused by these influx dispositions, ashrav bhavas, on rise of those karmas, decrease in knowledge and perception, evolution of perverse belief and passions, non-fulfillment of desired object, meeting with causes of happiness and unhappiness, continued association with the body, getting birth with particular gati, state of existence, jati, class of jivas, body, etc., and obtaining of high, low status take place. In the causation of these, the prime cause is the karmic matter which he, the misbeliever, does not identify because it is extremely subtle in form. It is not visible to him, and that karma does not appear to him to be doer instrumental cause, that is the instrumental cause of these deeds. Therefore, in their occurrence, either he believes himself as the doer or someone else as the doer. And when he fails in determining the doer, that is the creator, to be either himself or someone else, then thoughtlessly believes destiny to be the creator. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of Bandh Tattva, that is the principal bondage, wrong belief is caused.
So there are 8 karmas. Okay. So when there is a rise of this karma, Each of the 8 functions are mentioned in the first paragraph. You can check it out. Further, karmic bondage of knowledge, obscuring, etc. Jnana, Varana, etc. All the 8 karmas, etc. means all the 8 karmas. Type of karmas is caused, okay. So this 8 types of karma is caused by these influx disposition, okay. So this first there is an influx, asrav, and because of asrav there is a ban, okay. So is caused by this influx disposition. So karmic bondage of 8 karmas is caused by this influx disposition on rise of those karmas. So you have already done the bondage. Now when there is a rise of those karmas, that means fruition of those karmas, what happens? First, decrease in knowledge and perception. Jnana varan, darshana varan. Then the next, evolution of perverse belief and passion. Which karma? All unmute yourself and say. Evolution of perverse belief and passion. Which karma?
Monia.
Monia. Very good. Non-fulfillment of desired object. Which karma? Emali. Antarai.
Antaray karma.
Yes. The next, meeting with causes of happiness and unhappiness. Amita ji.
Vedniya.
Vednya. Very good. Continued association with the body. Rekha, which karma?
Ayushya, Ayushya.
Ayushya, very good. Getting birth with particular gati, jati, class of years, body, etc. Which karma?
Status.
Naam.
Naam karma.
And the last one, obtaining of high, low status takes place, gotra karma.
Gotra.
Status determining karma. Okay. So all these 8 you have to mention, you have to mark it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so you understand it better. So you see that Todermalji has written this book in a very mathematical manner. Everything was in his mind and he went on doing it step by step, you know. So that's why he is considered as Acharya, Acharya Kalp. Although he was a householder like us, having 2 sons, but because of his intelligence, because of his sharp knowledge, he was given the title of Acharya Kalp. Acharya Kalp means just like Acharya, because his thinking was like Acharya, his analysis was like Acharya, his intent was like Acharya, and that makes all these reading so interesting and so subtle. You see, the description that he has done is so subtle. Now, no other, you can say the 4 exposition chapter that's coming up in the next sem, 6 and 8 chapter we are doing in the next sem, that 8 chapter about the 4 exposition, not a single Acharya has mentioned anything about that. It is his own independent analysis and you will never find any analysis like that, So all this makes this reading very interesting. It not only teaches us Moksha Marg Prakashak, but it also teaches us how to read the other scriptures, how to analyze, how to come at a decision. Okay, it sharpens our decision making power. Okay, so in the causation of this, the prime cause. In the causation of this, the prime cause is the karmic matter. Okay. So what is the mistake here? Bandha Tattva, the prime cause is karmic matter, which he, the misbeliever, does not identify. So he is not able to identify the prime cause, which is the karmic matter, because it is extremely subtle in form. Karmas you cannot see because they are extremely subtle in form. It is not visible to him. And that karma does not appear to him to be doer. Okay, that karma does not appear to him the doer, instrumental cause of these deeds. Therefore, in their occurrence, either he believes himself as the doer or someone else as the doer. So this is the wrong belief. And when he fails in determining the doer to be either himself or someone else, then thoughtlessly believes destiny to be the creator. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of Bandh Tattva, wrong belief is caused. Now, the next wrong belief about Samvar Tattva, stoppage element. Okay. Now, Hemali, you read.
Wrong belief about Samvar Tattva. Absence of influx, which is asra, is stoppage, samvar. How can one effectuate the right belief of samvar, which is stoppage of inflow of karmic matter? How can one effectuate the right belief of samvar who does not correctly recognize influx, which is asra? For instance, someone follows unwholesome conduct. If it does not appear unwholesome to him, how would he believe its absence to be wholesome? Similarly, Jeev, mundane being, is engrossed in influx of asra. If it does not appear harmful to him, how then would he believe samvar to be beneficial, which evolves in the absence of influx, which is asra? Since eternity, only asra bhavs are found evolving to this Jeev. Samvar has never been evolved. Therefore, of samvar is not comprehended by him. On evolution of samvar, the spiritual bliss is produced. This is not believed by him. By samvar, there will be no sorrow in future, is not believed by him. Therefore, he makes no effort for stoppage of influx, and believing other objects to be distress causing makes effort for their disassociation. But those are not under his control. He unnecessarily feels melancholic. Therefore, due to wrong knowledge of Samvar Tattva, wrong belief is caused.
So, melancholic means sorrowful, sad, gloomy. Okay. So, the cause of the stoppage element would be the absence of influx. So, when there is a wrong belief of influx, wrong belief of stoppage also persist. Okay. How can one effectuate the right belief of samvar, stoppage of inflow of karmic matter, who does not correctly recognize influx? Okay. For instance, someone follow unwholesome conduct. If it does not appear unwholesome to him, how would then he believe its attempt to be wholesome? Okay. So if somebody is indulged in wrong conduct, if it doesn't believe it wrong, then how he will get rid of it? Okay. Similarly, Jiva is engrossed in influx. Okay. Because he doesn't know the discriminative knowledge. Why he doesn't know the discriminative knowledge? Because of delusion. So long the delusion persists, you cannot practice discriminative knowledge in the right sense. Okay. Similarly, Jiva is engrossed in influx. It does not appear harmful to him. It does not appear harmful to him. That is the biggest, that is the biggest cause why we are not able to get rid of asra, because it does not appear harmful to us. How then would he believe somewhat to be beneficial?
This is because of the karmic nature.
Karmic
He does
nature is
not
there,
hear
but
me.
at our
And
end,
wrong
if we
belief.
wrong belief, yeah, wrong belief, because of wrong belief. All these 7 fundamental errors are there because of wrong belief. Okay, understanding the 7 fundamentals as they are is the only way to get rid of this delusion. Okay, which evolves in the absence of influx. Okay, so this way he is because of this there is a error regarding the stoppage element. Since eternity only, asra are found. Okay, evolving to this jiva. So since eternity we have only 4 elements to encounter: jeev, ajeev, asra, bandh. There is no stoppage, and when stoppage is not there, dissociation is also not there, and liberation is also not there. Okay, but we can always know the nature of stoppage. We can always know the knowledge of dissociation, and we can always know the knowledge of liberation. Okay, so even if we have not manifested stoppage, but we can know how the stoppage would be manifested, and working on that we can do that. Okay, so stoppage element only arises when you take shelter in yourself. Okay, so again we come back to our original target, to divert our active consciousness, which is engaged in the external objects, towards our self. Okay, and when that's done, that active consciousness gets immersed in the soul, and the experience arises, self-realization arises, and that is the beginning of the stoppage element. That is the beginning of the purity. That is the destruction of delusion. Okay, that is the beginning of the path of liberation. And once the purity starts manifesting, it keeps on increasing as you practice more and more. So increasing of purity is dissociation, and complete purity is liberation. Okay, so samvar nijra moksha. Samvar, stoppage of influx have never been involved. Therefore, evolution of samvar is not comprehended by him. On evolution of samvar, the spiritual bliss is produced. So this is the beginning of the path of liberation. This is not believed by him. Okay, because he doesn't know it properly. By samvar, there will be no sorrow in future. In present also you will be happy, and in future also you will be happy. So there will be no sorrow in future. Is not believed by him. Okay. Therefore, he makes no effort for stoppage of influx, and believing other objects to be distressed causing makes effort for their dissociation. But those are not under his control. He unnecessarily feels melancholic, sorrowful, sad, gloomy. Thus, due to wrong knowledge of Samvar Tattva, wrong belief is caused. Okay. Now we move on to the next. Wrong belief about Nirjara Tattva. Okay.
So may I ask a question?
Yes, yes.
So how do you practice samvad? By not reacting only, no? That's the way, right?
Yeah, that's not reacting, but that is the outcome. What is the, from the positive side, what you do when you are manifesting Samvar?
Um,
You take shelter in your soul.
okay,
Ah,
right.
from there, everything will start. So don't forget
Okay.
this. The key is to divert our active consciousness from external objects towards ourself. And when it goes towards ourself, it becomes immersed in it, and the self-realization happens. When the self-realization happens, the journey of path of liberation begins. The purity begins, and that purity is called samvar. Increasing of
Okay.
that purity is nirjara, and completion of this purity is moksha. That's all. So
Okay, sir.
whatever we read, whatever we understand, that is only one purpose: to what to do?
Take shelter in the soul.
Take shelter in the soul. Very good. Take shelter in the soul. So whatever questions being asked, the answer is very simple. Whatever we read, contemplate, only one purpose is there, that from time immemorial, our active consciousness is involved in sensual and other things because he believes that happiness is there. Right? Now, the first thing that we established, that the happiness is an attribute of the soul, and it contains in the soul. So the next step would be to get into the soul. Okay, to get our active consciousness into the soul. And when you get your active consciousness into the soul, that is the time the self-realization happens. Okay, so you may say that, sir, we have been reading for 2 years and it's not happening. What is the cause? So what would you say, Himali?
So at least I don't know about others, so but I know that so now I can literally see that my life is moving like a parallel track. On the one hand is, work, taking care of the children, ensuring that, food is cooked in time, all of those daily things. And on the other hand, I'm constantly, uh, so I won't say parallel tracks, they also meet sometimes, but on the other hand, there is a life where I feel that this is the right thing. This is what I need to do when I kind of, I'm like, for instance, when I'm chopping vegetables, I feel really sad. I feel, like a kind of a sorrow takes over me that because of the
So
necessity.
that means you are a doer of that chopping of vegetable. Who are you? You are
Yeah,
a soul.
yeah,
This is the activity of the body. So here again, you have to practice descriptive knowledge. So you said
right,
parallel, two things going parallel. One
yeah,
is your the life, that human life that is going on, and along
yeah,
with that human life, there are emotions happening every moment. So that is one
yeah,
track. That is
yeah,
called Uday Dhara, Karma Dhara. Okay, because of the
okay,
influence of karma, certain things are coming to your life and emotions are happening, everything is happening. That is one
hmm,
track. The other
hmm,
track is the track of the knowledge, Gyan Dhara.
yeah,
That is
right,
the function of the soul. That is
right,
not the function of the soul. Chopping of the vegetable, why you should feel sad?
okay.
Because that is
So,
not, you are not the doer. Okay, from
yeah,
Charnan Yoga, we always take care that no insect is there in the vegetable. We always take those precautions. We are aware of that. Okay,
hmm,
from Charnan Yoga, that alertness should be there. But
hmm,
again, when you think from Dravyan Yoga, okay, we are not the doer.
right,
So you don't take responsibility.
okay,
Dravyan Yoga will not allow you to take the responsibility of any other activity than knowing. Apart from
hmm,
knowing, no other activity is in the purview of Dravyan Yoga. From Charnan Yoga, of course, we will be doing the right kind of behavior, action, whatever.
hmm,
From Karnan Yoga, there is a rise of karma. All the karma dhara is there because of Karnan Yoga. Okay, so that we relate to that. And Pratman Yoga is always the, whatever action you take, whatever progress you take, you will be appreciated. So that is Pratman Yoga. And if you don't do it, uh, you will be what you can say, like Ravan, everyone was talking ill of him because he did that action. Okay. So Pratman Yoga will always appreciate and criticize, So that is Pratman Yoga. So all four exposition goes hand in hand and all have a different way of explaining things. So when you want to practice, you have to bring all the four exposition in the picture. Like
hmm,
chopping of the vegetables is an act of the body. So Dravyan Yoga will say you are not the doer.
right,
At the same time, when you are chopping up the vegetable, you will take care that nothing
hmm,
goes wrong, Even Ekendriya Jeev, we are doing that. That is true.
hmm,
But at the end of the day, you are experiencing the sum total of all the modifications. Okay. And we don't want any modification to go wrong, go wrong in the sense we want to acquire such kind of knowledge that we are able to absorb whatever is reflecting in our knowledge screen. So this is reflecting in our knowledge screen, right? But again, if you analyze it that you are not the doer, then
hmm,
that sadness will go away. Sadness is there just because of our oneness, mindness, doership, and enjoyership.
sure, sure,
So every time you have to relate to these four things, four flaws, and every time you have to relate to your soul. Because as a soul, what you are doing? The knowing. So you remain in that zone, no? The knower zone, Gyan Dhara. And parallelly, there is an Karma Dhara, Uday Dhara. So both tracks are going parallel. The railway tracks never meet. So we also never meet. Because
right,
I as a soul, although I have been wandering, transmigrating from time immemorial, but not for a single moment I have touched that karma dhara. And
hmm,
that karma dhara, not a single moment has touched my knowledge dhara. Both
hmm,
remain
hmm,
independent, distinct and
hmm,
distinct.
hmm,
So there is no problem. Both can
hmm,
run parallel, no problem. This is my role. As in a cinema, double role
yeah,
pictures. Similarly, this
yes,
is the double role.
hmm,
One is the role whole Himali as a mother, Himali as a housewife, Himali as a content writer, Himali as a student, many roles that we play, But there is one role which is unique, and that is I am a knower. I'm not the doer. So here
yes,
you can practice discriminative knowledge, and with time, with practice, you will evolve. Your spiritual journey will be always different from what's going on in your life. So that is how you are able to relax. Once you become a doer, that something is happening to me. This happening is body, not me. So there and there you have to contemplate and discriminate. Contemplate and discriminate. Just pause. Just pause. Think over, think over, think over. So pausing and thinking over is only possible when you are reading yourself in Jinwani. Okay. But when you are listening, you have to flow with my flow. Right. So reading yourself is highly recommended for fast progress. Okay. So that you should do, that is your homework, you have to read 3 times. All the things that is being taught here, you have to read personally 3 times. So first time you are able to grasp 20-25%. The next time you read another 30%. The third time you read another 30%. So you are there at 80-85%. And that is enough, right? And something you also learn from experience, as you mature and as you go very deep, you always have that cross connections. This is the instrumental cause, now this is effort. Everything you can realize that all things are happening independently. So you will pick up. Good. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. So then what you will say according to for people who suicide, sir?
People who suicide, they are not able to practice discriminative knowledge. They don't know that they are soul. This is an opportunity. If this human life is the most precious, and if he is contemplating on suicide, that means he is doing a big blunder. So he has to read the scriptures. He has to be in the company of the sadharmics, co-religionist, okay, who will uplift him. Because there are phases in everyone's life because of the karmic push, because of the influence of karma. Challenges will come in your life, but then you have to learn to contemplate, learn to analyze. Analytic skill is the most important role in this spiritual journey. So if you are able to analyze, you can see things in the right perspective. And when you see things in the right perspective, there is no problem. Problem only arises when two things happening differently, you consider as one. Okay. So then there is a problem.
So we had learned this under misery due to Charitra Moh. He takes
Yes.
poison, commits suicide.
Yes. So that was there to explain that the passions are so strong that this drives the soul to commit suicide. He is not able to manage those passions. But here we say that you practice discriminative knowledge, the passion doesn't touch you. It's something that is because of the karmic influence that has come into your modification. It's not your inherent nature to manifest anger, pride, deceit. Greed is not your inherent nature. It has just come into your modification because of karmic influence. Okay. So you have to practice. You have to practice discriminative knowledge. Okay. So those tendencies will also go away, and always remain in company of true Dev Shastra Guru. This Jinwani is true Shastra. You read this Jinwani, each word, each line will lead to your spiritual development. Those who have suicidal tendency, they should read 4 hours a day scripture, and their life will change in 1 week. 1 week they will be a different person. Just read this Jinwani. Okay. So if somebody says that I want to make a spiritual progress, but I will not read, then it's impossible. Okay. In this human life, you have got the opportunity to read, you read. But if somebody is in the subhuman state, they don't read Jinwani. They don't know the name of the elements. But still, because of their past connections, they are able to continue that journey because the soul is the same. For some reasons, you have not been able to manifest right belief in this birth. And your next birth is already bonded in a subhuman state. So you become a lion, you become an elephant. And there the spiritual journey continues. And you manifest right belief there also. Okay. So in all the 4 state of existence, right belief can be manifested. Okay. Provided you have mind with you. Okay. Now the Nirjara Tattva. Who was reading Rekha, you read.
Wrong belief about Nirjana Tattva. Further, partial destruction of bondage of karmas is Nirjana shedding off. How can he who does not recognize Bandh correctly evolve the right belief of Nirjana? For example, if someone does not know what misery will be caused by the poison, etc., eaten by him, why would then he know beneficial the remedy of destroying it? Similarly, if one does not know that the misery will be caused by the karmas bonded in the past, how then he know beneficial the remedy of their destruction? Further, this jeev cannot acquire the knowledge of subtle karmic particles through senses and also does not know their power of causing misery. Therefore, knowing other objects as instrumental in producing misery, he tries to destroy them only. But those objects are not under his control. Moreover, if by chance, for the sake of removing sorrow, some agreeable association takes place, then that too takes place as per one's karmas. Therefore, he unnecessarily becomes miserable by making effort about them. Thus, due to wrong knowledge of Nijra Tattva, wrong belief is caused.
So you see, if you don't know the bondage correctly, how you will have the right belief for Nirjara. Okay. So the misery was caused by the poison eaten by him, and then if he does not know that, how would he be think beneficial of not eating poison? Okay. Similarly, if one does not know that the misery will be caused by the karmas bonded in the past, how would then he know the beneficial, the remedy of their destruction? Okay. So karmas are a cause of my misery. If you don't know that, why you will indulge in dissociation of those karmas? Okay. Further, this jiva cannot acquire the knowledge of subtle karmic particles through senses and also does not know their power of causing misery. Okay. Therefore, knowing other objects as instrumental in producing misery, he tries to destroy them only. But those are only instrumental causes. The underlying cause is the karma, right? So that he is not aware. So all his efforts are futile. But those objects are not under his control. Moreover, if by chance, for the sake of removing sorrow, some agreeable association takes place, some conducive association comes into your contact, then that too takes place as per one's karmas. Okay. Therefore, he unnecessarily becomes miserable by making effort about them. So this is not the right way. The right way would be to take shelter in the soul. By taking in the shelter on the soul, the dissociation will automatically happen. You know, चार घाती कर्म नासे ऐसे अरिहंत है. So Aryan Bhagwan has destroyed the 4 obscuring karmas, right? So what did the Aryan Bhagwan did, you know? He immersed in himself. He concentrated in himself. He took shelter in himself, and the karma automatically go away. So we also have to do that only. There is nothing in karma that we can do because it's a matter particle. How can a soul do anything in the matter particle? But soul with his efforts can concentrate on the self, immersed in the self, and that's how the karma will get dissociated. So this is the right way of doing nirjara.
Sir, can I ask one question?
Yes.
Sir, जैसे कि before we do anything or we are doing something, our man always tells us this is right, this is wrong, mostly.
Okay. Okay.
So following your soul कि नहीं ये गलत है and we don't do it, तो वो निर्जरा हुआ ना?
No, nirjara will only happen when you take shelter in your soul.
हाँ, तो सही और गलत में समझ में आ गया क्या सही है क्या गलत है at that moment.
Okay.
Or following what is right,
right,
we are not wanting more karma. So disassociation is taking place.
So dissociation and stoppage only arises when you realize yourself. Before realization of the self, you can always acquire the knowledge of stoppage element. You can always acquire the knowledge of nirjara element and the liberation element. Having knowledge is good, but unless and until you do practically the discriminative knowledge, science of discriminative knowledge, you don't practice it, you cannot take shelter in your soul. For taking
We are
shelter into
practicing
soul,
what-
you have
yeah.
to guide your active consciousness towards the self. Right? That much
Yes.
strength you should develop, that active consciousness which is involved in the external objects from time immemorial. You have to put
Yes.
in extra efforts to take that active consciousness towards yourself. And if you are able to do that, you will manifest self-realization. So our all efforts are going from for diverting that active consciousness from external objects towards ourself. And once it realizes itself, the journey begins. And until that time, that realization doesn't happen, we keep on doing that. We keep on reading, we keep on contemplating, we keep on arriving at decision, and arriving at the decision gives us strength to divert our active consciousness towards self. Who is giving the strength to divert that active consciousness which is from time immemorial, not this birth, time immemorial. We are there since time immemorial. And that is flow is going towards the external objects for happiness. Now that you have to divert. So it's not an easy task. But having said that, if you read Jinwani, it's easy. If you are under the influence of Jinwani, if you are under the influence of their guidance, then you just go on the right path without any hindrances, without any challenges. Challenges only come when we apply our own intelligence and don't act as per Jinwani. So when we follow the instructions of Jinwani, we are always in safe hands. Okay. But if you follow your inner feeling, inner guts, inner wrong belief, then nobody can help you. Okay. So best part is the Jinwani has explicitly told us about the path of liberation, about the 4 exposition, about the 7 fundamentals, about substance, attributes, modification, Krambat Paryay, Nimit Upadan, so many principles that we have learned, you have to apply. You have to apply in your day-to-day life. And that's how you practice discriminative knowledge. And that's how your active consciousness turns inward and take shelter of your soul, and the journey will begin. Okay. So long that doesn't happen, you keep on practicing. Work is in progress. The delusion is getting eradicated day by day. It's getting reducing day by day. So that much time you have to patiently wait. Okay. But every day your confidence will grow. No, this is the right path. I am the pure soul. I am the pure soul. My journey is my soul's journey and not the journey that I'm considering about the body and the external associations that I have. I'm only a knower. I'm not the doer, right? So all this will automatically gets connected and you will develop enough strength to divert your active consciousness from external objects towards your self. Okay. So that strength will come. Just have patience and keep on learning and making decisions. That's all. So wrong belief about
Yes.
moksha tattva. Rekha, you read.
Yes. Wrong belief about moksha tattva and the state of complete destruction of all sort of karmic bondage is termed moksha, perfect liberation. How can one who does not recognize karmic bondage and all sort of miseries caused by bondage have right belief of moksha? For example, someone is having a disease. If he does not know what disease and the anguish caused by that disease, how would then he believe beneficial the complete eradication of disease? Similarly, this Jeev is having karmic bondage. If he does not know that bondage and the misery caused by that bondage, how would then he know beneficial the complete eradication of karmic bondage? And this Jeev does not have knowledge of karmic matter and their potentiality. Therefore, knowing the external objects as to be the cause of misery, he tries to destroy them totally. And he knows that he will become perfectly happy by accumulating the desired materials, which he believes to be the cause of complete destruction of miseries. But this can never happen. He unnecessarily becomes miserable. Thus, due to perverse faith and owing to wrong knowledge of moksha tattva, the wrong belief is caused. In this way, this jiva entertains wrong belief about jiva, etc. Seven purposeful tattvas elements due to perverse faith.
So, if he doesn't know the misery is being caused by the karmas, then he considers the external factors to be the cause and he tries to destroy those external factors, and that never happen because it is not is under our hand, and he unnecessarily becomes miserable. Okay. So, seven fundamentals are very important. If you know the correctly the nature of each seven fundamentals, automatically you manifest right belief. Because after understanding the seven elements, what you apply? Hemali, what you have to apply after knowing the seven fundamentals?
The Hegne Upade.
Very good, very sharp. I really appreciate your effort, getting the right thinking at the right moment is what is required here. Okay. So you have to apply He Gne Upade, what is knowable, what is worth renouncing, what is worth adapting. And in terms of what is worth adapting, there are two categories. What is worth taking shelter and what is worth manifesting. Okay. So this way, if you apply those He Gne Upade among the seven fundamentals, your active consciousness will not go to bondage element and the influx element, and he knows that all non-soul elements are just knowables, so he doesn't go there also. Then it automatically comes towards your soul, which is only the substance, the elements worth taking shelter in. When the active consciousness takes shelter in that, the rise of stoppage element happens, and then nirjara, and then moksha. So very simple. Okay. Now here again punya pap is also included, although punya pap is included in the asrav and ban, but here it has been given separately. Okay. So we will read that also. Pratibhaji, you read.
Can you please have someone else read? A lot of disturbance here,
Okay. Amitaji,
Okay.
Amitaji, you read. But you don't have textbook, right? You can read from the screen.
Right. Wrong belief about punya, pap, virtue, and vice. Further, punya, pap, tattvas, virtue, and vice are the details of aforesaid tattvas, and the class of both punya and pap is one and the same. Nevertheless, he understands punya beneficial and pap harmful due to wrong belief. Owing to rise of punya, if according to one's desires, some work is accomplished, then he feels it's beneficial, and owing to rise of pap, if the desired work does not materialize, then he feels it's bad. But both are the cause of agitation, hence both are bad only. And this jiva, due to his own conviction, feels happiness, unhappiness in such conditions. Spiritually speaking, wherever there is agitation, there is sorrow only. Therefore, treating the rise of punya and pap as beneficial and harmful is nothing but delusion. And many jivas at times consider the auspicious, inauspicious thoughts, which are the cause of bondage of punya and pap, as good or bad. That also is delusion, because both types of thoughts are the cause of karmic bondage. Thus, owing to wrong knowledge of punya, pap, wrong belief takes place. In this way, the nature of perverse faith in the form of misbelief of tattvas has been described. This is false, hence, its name is mithyatva, and this is devoid of true belief, hence, the same is termed as adarshan, no belief.
So see, the error regarding the punya pap is people have this, the soul has this understanding since time immemorial that punya is good and pap is bad. But here it says the both are cause of bondage. One is causing auspicious bondage, the other is causing inauspicious bondage. But nevertheless, these are not the cause of samvar, stoppage, right? This is causing bondage. So one that is causing bondage, how can that stop the influx, right? So this is the wrong understanding regarding punya and pap. They feel punya is good, and that's why the most of the people in Jainism, they run after punya because they believe punya se dharma hota hai, right? Punya is religion itself, that is their belief, and that's why they are donating so much and doing this, and people are taking into, initiating into monkhood. All those wealthy people, they are also now getting initiated into monkhood. Why? Because they feel that we can get liberated by doing this punya, by doing this tapasya, fasting and all. They don't know, right? People are just getting involved in the activities. But the true religion is only when you take shelter in your soul. And to take shelter in your soul, you have to study the scriptures, analyze it, and come to the decision. So many the people put in efforts more on the activity side and less on the studying side. And here he says everything is manifested because of study. So you have to study intensely, deeply, and deeply, and you have to contemplate and just analyze, and then you arrive at a decision. And with the decision, the delusion keeps on decreasing, and that is the only way we have. There is no other way. I will just recommend you to read 3-4 pages in the 9th chapter. I'm just mentioning you the page numbers. Yeah. Page number. Are Bhagwan.
So the 9th chapter begins on page 435.
Yeah, 435. The next topic coming on to this, 441. 441. Liberation through right effort only. Okay. So these 4-5 pages you read, and here Todarmalji has explained very nicely that you have with you only the effort in terms of taking decisions about the 7 fundamentals. Okay. That is only your effort. Otherwise, your effort doesn't go beyond that. Very clearly it is mentioned here. So ninth chapter we will study when we get into the 9th sem. So we cannot wait that long. Although I've been every now and then I've been discussing about the efforts what we need to put in, but you should read it in words also to convince yourself more. So as a homework, you should read this topic, liberation through right efforts only. And Todarmalji has put in so many logics here to convince, So anybody who reads it will understand. So you can read, and if you have any questions regarding that, you can ask me personally. Now we will come on to the nature of wrong knowledge. The next topic.
What was the page number, sir?
441, I suppose, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So
441.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you said that, people are taking Diksha, even these rich people are taking Diksha. But sir, it is only when you take Diksha, you go to the 7th stage of spiritual uh, uh, enlightenment. I mean, spiritual
So
ladder.
7th stage is coming only because of your manifesting the purity, no, to that level.
Yes.
So there are 4 quadruplets of passions: Anantanubandhi, Apratyakan, Pratyakan, and Sanjalan. So when you go into when you take initiate into monkhood and you achieve that stage spiritually, I can just let go of my clothes, but internal development has to happen, no? And
Yes,
internal
sir.
development starts with right belief. And when
Correct.
you don't know this knowledge of the scriptures, you don't know what is 7 fundamentals, you don't know what is discriminative knowledge, what you will do by taking Diksha?
Achha, that way.
Yesterday I was
Okay.
talking to a person, he is in Chennai, he wanted to get initiated into monkhood. Okay. So he went to some Sagar Muniraj, and he was ready to take him into monkhood. And he was very keen on. And suddenly he got this contact and he joined this course. So I told him, first you acquire this knowledge for 5 years and then only you take Diksha. But still he was very adamant in taking Diksha. So I said, I just gave my advice. And then he went to the monk to take the Diksha. So then the monk said that you have to renounce everything. You have to renounce your house, you have to renounce your family, you have to renounce all the properties, you know. So that property he was not able to renounce. So the monk said that you just first renounce the property and then you can take Diksha. So that's why he again came back to me, said this is the problem. So I said, good, now you study here 5 years. So now he is in the 6th sem. Yesterday I was talking to him for some reason, you know. I told you to give me the objective marks, you know, every time. Send me your objective marks, all 3 papers. So that problem happened with him. His marks, objective marks were not reflecting on the results. So I asked him that you have not sent me the objective marks, you send so I can upgrade your result. So that's why I called him. And that's how we spoke, how life is going and all this. So he said that now thanks that you gave me this guidance. Now I'm very aware that what should I do without knowing this, what I will do after taking initiative into monkhood, what I will do. And he knows only English. He doesn't know Hindi also because he's a Tamil. So I said, then what you will do even if you go to the congregation, all the monks knows only Hindi. They don't know English. So you first understand this and then you take Diksha. So now he's studying acquiring this knowledge, but like people don't have this guidance, you know. Okay, you want to initiate into monkhood, but you have to understand the scriptures. You have to understand how to practice descriptive knowledge, right? So just blindly following something doesn't help you in any way, you know, you're wasting your life. On the contrary, you be a householder, understand this topic, and then you develop that power of renunciation. If you are acquiring something, then you are able to renounce something, right? So ग्रहण पूर्वक त्याग होता है. तो पहले ग्रहण करो, knowledge ग्रहण करो, and gaining knowledge is itself renunciation. You can renounce this body right now. Although you are contained in this body, the soul is contained in this body, but I can still renounce this body at the knowledge level, that this body does not belong to me. I have to take the decision only, right? So this way you can discriminate. So in Sem4, we will be studying it in the 7th sem. Knowledge itself is renunciation. Gyan hi pratyakhyan hai. 34, verse number 34 in Sem4. Gyan hi pratyakhyan hai. So in the knowledge only you have believed that this is mine. Now in the knowledge you have to renounce that this is not mine. This is the true renunciation. Okay. So first you upgrade your knowledge and renunciation will automatically happen. You will always acquire monkhood as you progress in the spiritual journey. You can say that I am a woman, how can I take into monkhood? How I can initiate into monkhood? But in this birth you are woman, but next birth you will not be in a woman. You will never have a woman birth again. If you understand these 7 fundamentals, if you make a decision on this, you will never get a woman birth again. So in this birth you cannot initiate into monkhood, but in the next birth, but right now you can still become an Arjika. That is the 5th stage. And before that there is a 4th stage. You can become a Shravika. Okay. So all what is possible at our level that we do, what is not possible that will automatically come. Because things will come because of your internal purity. So you divert all your efforts, you divert all your energy in increasing this purity. And as this purity increases, automatically your stages will go up. You will come into the 4th stage, 5th stage, and when the time comes for 6th, 7th stage, you automatically become a monk. Before acquiring the 6th and 7th stage, you become a monk. While you are in the 5th stage, you become a monk. That thoughts come to you that now I want to take initiate into monkhood. As now the thoughts come, somebody would tell you that come to the party, tomorrow there is a party. How interested you are going into that party? Just by understanding the scriptures, you know that there so much of time will be wasted and I have a class Parmagam. So what you will do? You will attend the Parmagam honors class and then you will go to the party at the end and just see him off. That's all. So we manage things according to our way. When there is a will, there is always a way. It's not that you cannot manage. It's all managing. Only thing is you have to develop an interest. So once you have developed an interest, all the equations change. Right? So now the next topic is the nature of wrong knowledge. Okay. So when the belief is wrong, the knowledge is wrong. Right. So what we have to learn in terms of nature of wrong knowledge? Only two things. One thing is that what is a wrong knowledge? The knowledge that has doubt, the knowledge that have perverseness, the knowledge that have indecision is called wrong knowledge. Sansai, Vibram, Anadyavasai. In Chedala, in the fourth dal, verse number 6, we have understood these three things. What is this? Doubt, perverseness, and indecision. Anadyavasai. Okay. So these three is the first part that we need to understand in terms of wrong knowledge. This is the first part. The second part is then what you are doing, because of belief, wrong belief, the wrong knowledge is there, right? So you do process at the level of belief and not at the level of knowledge. So what is the fault at the level of knowledge? Then the second point comes that in terms of knowledge, what you are doing wrong is that you are engaging your knowledge in knowing other things and not engaging your knowledge in knowing the 7 fundamentals. So that is the fault at knowledge level. You are engaging your knowledge in other things and not engaging your knowledge into knowing the 7 fundamentals. Okay. So this is only the fault in wrong knowledge. Otherwise, wrong knowledge is just because of wrong belief. So the process would be to get to the right belief, the knowledge has become right. But having said that, when we discuss wrong knowledge, we see two things coming up into our mind. The first thing is that the 3 doubts, okay, 3 blemishes. 3 blemishes of knowledge. What are these 3 blemishes? Doubt, perverseness, and the third is indecision. Okay. So that is being mentioned here. Doubt, perverseness, and indecisiveness. Okay. These are the 3 flaws of wrong knowledge. So long these 3 flaws remains, the knowledge cannot turn right. Okay. So we have to get rid of this. So to get rid of doubt, what you have to do, Hemali? All the 3, not only doubt, perverseness, and indecisiveness. What you have to do? I'm asking you, Himali.
So to remove doubt, so you have to believe in the scriptures, you need to have the right faith.
So you have to read it again and again.
Yeah.
Right?
Read
First,
again and again, contemplate.
Yes, and arrive at a decision. Similar is the perverseness.
Yeah.
Perverseness is nothing but wrong belief, type of wrong belief. Right? So, and the third one is the indecision. So indecision will also go away when you take the right decisions. Right? You know, there was one Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao. And in the newspaper, they used to tell him that this is a Prime Minister who's everything he will keep pending, will not take a decision, you know. So that was the joke in the newspaper at that point of time. I think R.K. Lakshman was giving in Times of India, na? The cartoons. So that was a cartoon I read many years ago. So indecision. So that indecision is something that you have to get rid of. Okay. So what are these 3 blemishes that we will understand in the first paragraph? And the last part is the other part that engaging your knowledge in other things, unpurposeful things, and not engaging in the purposeful 7 elements is the fault of the knowledge. So there are only 2 faults: getting these 3 cleared, 3 faults cleared, and engaging your knowledge in knowing the 7 fundamentals. Okay. So now we will read this nature of wrong knowledge. Okay. Rekha, you read.
The nature of wrong knowledge. Now, the nature of wrong knowledge is described. Knowing incorrectly the jeev, etc., purposeful tattvas, is termed mithya gyan, false knowledge. Due to this, doubt, perverseness, and indecisiveness are caused in knowing the tattvas. There, is it this or that? Such sort of mutually contradictory dual form of knowledge is termed doubt, sanshaya. For example, am I a soul or a material body? Such knowledge, and is it is like this only. Such sort of one form of knowledge contradictory to the intrinsic nature of the substance is termed perverseness. Viparyaya. For example, I am a material body, such knowledge, and something is there, such sort of indeterminate form of thought knowledge is termed indecisiveness. Anadhyavasai. For example, I am something, such knowledge, thus doubt, perverseness, indecisiveness, form of knowledge about the purposeful, essential jiva, etc. Tattva is termed wrong knowledge, mithya gyan. Further, the name of false knowledge or right knowledge is not attributed from viewpoint of knowing correctly or incorrectly the purposeless substances, tattvas. For instance, if a misbeliever knows a rope as a rope, it is not termed as right knowledge. And if a true believer knows a rope as a snake, it is not termed as false knowledge. Why should question why should one not call right knowledge or wrong knowledge to the clearly perceptible right wrong knowledge? Answer. Where the purpose is only of knowing or ascertaining right wrong, then whatever substance is there, the name right knowledge, wrong knowledge is given according to the viewpoint of knowing it right or wrong. For example, in describing direct, indirect form of comprehensive knowledge, praman, some substance is taken in view. There, knowing it correctly is taken as right knowledge, and knowing it doubtfully, etc., is stated as the invalid form of wrong knowledge. But here, the object is to determine the right and wrong. Right and wrong knowledge, which are cause of transmigration or liberation. In this connection, the right or wrong knowledge of rope, serpent, etc. is not the cause of transmigration or liberation. That is why the right knowledge or wrong knowledge are not described here from their point of view. Here, the right knowledge, wrong knowledge are described from the viewpoint of knowing of the purposeful jiva, etc. tattvas. From this purport, point of view only, in the scriptures, all knowledge of a misbeliever is termed as false knowledge only, and all knowledge of a true believer is termed as right knowledge.
Stop. Stop. So you see 3 doubts, 3 blemishes. Okay. Doubt, perverseness, indecisiveness. Now what is this doubt? Is it this or that? Is it this or that? That means he is in dilemma. He is in doubt. He is not taking a decision. Okay. So this kind of person is still at the stage of taking decision. He is not taking the decision. Okay. So he still has a scope of improving. Okay. So this is called doubt. Is it this or that? In Chedala, the example given was this is silver or this is what you called shank. Shank को क्या बोलते हैं? Shell, no? Yeah. This is shell or silver. So there was a dilemma. So he is not taking a decision. He is in doubt. Now, if he analyzes further, he will come to the right decision. So this is the first kind of blemish. The second kind of blemish is perverseness. Okay. Such sort of mutually contradictory dual form of knowledge is termed as doubt, sanshaya. Example, am I a soul or a material body? So this is doubt. Okay, am I a soul or material? He is not able to take the decision now. So he is still such knowledge. The second part, it is like this only. So now this fellow, second one, has taken a decision, but that decision is wrong. It is like this only. Such sort of one form of knowledge contradictory to the intrinsic nature of the substance is termed perverseness. Viparya. Example, I am a material body. Now he has already taken the decision and the decision is wrong. So to mend that guy is difficult. The first one is still in a dilemma. So you can just explain him and he will take the decision. But the second one, he has already taken the decision. He says that I don't want to listen to you. I have taken the decision that I am a body. So now this is a bit difficult. The third one is also worst. Okay. Something is there. Something is there. Okay. So something is there. So he is not sure what is there. Okay. This is called indecision. Such sort of indeterminate form of thought, knowledge, is termed indecisiveness. Anadhyavasai. I am something. Not body, not soul. I am something. So he is least concerned, So among all the three, the first one is the best one. The second one is the second best one. The third one is the worst one. Okay. First one is the best one in the sense that he has not taken a decision. If he analyze, if he take guidance, he may take the right decision. But the second one has already taken a wrong decision, and the third one is indecision. He is least interested in knowing whether it is what. Okay. So all these three forms of blemishes, if it remains in the knowledge, then your knowledge is termed as wrong knowledge. And the right knowledge would be devoid of all these three blemishes. Correct? Understood? Okay. You refer to Chedala, fourth dal, sixth stanza. Okay. And also connect to these three things that has been explained over there. Okay. Thus, doubt, perverseness, indecisiveness, form of knowledge about the purposeful essential elements. 7 fundamental elements. Okay. Jiva, jiva, asra, ban, samvar, nijera, moksha is termed as wrong knowledge. Okay. Now, the second part of it. Further, the name of false knowledge or right knowledge is not attributed from the viewpoint of knowing correctly or incorrectly. The purposeless substances. Okay. So the purposeless substances like 7 fundamentals, apart from 7 fundamentals, all others are purposeless elements. Okay. So what is the height of Eiffel Tower? You know, Himali?
Sir, I think 260 meters or something. I'm not sure.
You are not sure. But this will not stop your liberation. Because
Sorry, this will not.
So this is not purposeful element, no? I don't know how much is Meru Parvat, but doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It is not going to cause misery to me. But if I don't know the Asrav element, if I don't know the bondage element, then misery will cause. Okay. So purposeful elements are those elements which serves our purpose of becoming happy and not becoming misery. Okay. These are called purposeful elements, and there are only 7 purposeful elements. That's all. That's your syllabus is so short for becoming happy. You know the 7 fundamentals properly. You apply Hegel, Gnei, Upadhyay. You apply practical discriminative knowledge and you are home. That's all. So easy. Okay. So these purposeful elements only you should know correctly, incorrectly. But other elements which are not purposeful elements, if you know it correctly or incorrectly, it doesn't matter. Okay. Because those are purposeless elements. For instance, if a misbeliever knows a rope as a rope, so knowing rope as a rope is a correct knowledge, but he is a misbeliever. So all his knowledge would be wrong knowledge, although he knows the rope correctly. Similarly, it is not termed as right knowledge. And if a true believer knows a rope as a snake, it is not termed as false knowledge. Okay. So Himali, I don't know what is the height of Eiffel Tower, but you know that it is 260 feet. Okay. But it doesn't matter. My happiness is not concerned with height of Eiffel Tower. Okay. So
Yes.
purposeful element, if you do any error, you are not manifesting right belief. And unless until you are not manifesting right belief, the eternal bliss is not experienced. Right? So you are not happy. All these sensual pleasures are coming with anxiety. And eternal bliss is without anxiety. That is the difference. Okay. It is unperturbed. Sensual pleasures is coming with perturbedness. Okay. So there is still element of misery involved in that. Okay. But I am looking at eternal bliss, and that eternal bliss is unperturbed. There is no anxiety over there. Okay. So this is the bliss coming from the directly from the soul, and this will only come when you realize yourself. Okay. And to realize yourself, you have to know the 7 fundamentals. These are purposeful elements. Now, the question: why should not one call right knowledge or wrong knowledge to the clearly perceptible right or wrong knowledge? You can see that rope is rope. He is telling it correctly. Why you are telling him wrong knowledge? Because he does not know the purposeful elements correctly. Therefore, all knowledge is wrong knowledge. And if you know the purposeful elements very correctly, you may not have the knowledge of all other things, but doesn't matter. You will get into the path of liberation and you will get liberated. So our purpose is to get liberated. So you know only the 7 fundamentals correctly, and rest everything will happen automatically. Okay. So that is the answer given here in this answer, where the purpose is only of knowing or ascertaining right or wrong. Then whatever substance is there, the name right knowledge, wrong knowledge is given according to the viewpoint of knowing it right or wrong. But when the purpose is of knowing it in the sense of getting liberated, then the belief has to come first. Okay. For knowing or not knowing, knowledge will come first. But for manifesting the right belief, you have to have the belief first, and then the knowledge will turn right. Okay. For example, in describing direct, indirect form of comprehensive valid knowledge, okay, comprehensive valid knowledge is called praman gyan. Samyak gyan is right knowledge. Some substance is taken in view. There, knowing it correctly and is taken as right knowledge, and knowing it doubtfully, etc., doubtfully, perversely, and indecisively is stated as the invalid form of wrong knowledge. So your knowledge is wrong if you have doubt or the three blemishes. But here the object is to determine the right and wrong knowledge, which are the cause of transmigration or liberation. Right? In this then connection, the right or wrong knowledge of rope, serpent, etc. is not the cause of transmigration or liberation. That is why the right knowledge or wrong knowledge are not described here from their point of view. Here, right knowledge, wrong knowledge are described from the viewpoint of knowing the purposeful 7 fundamentals, purposeful 7 fundamental elements. Okay. From this purport, intention, point of view only in the scripture, all knowledge of a misbeliever is termed as false knowledge only, and all knowledge of a true believer is termed as right knowledge. Okay. Now this is being explained further. Okay. There is a bit of discussion, and then we'll come to the conclusion. So we will now read 2-3 pages. Okay. And Himali, you read, and we will be only reading because I have already explained you where are the problems.
Question. The misbeliever's knowledge about the Jeev, etc., tattvas is wrong. You may call it wrong knowledge, but at least call his correct knowledge about rope, serpent, etc. to be the right knowledge. Answer. Whenever a misbeliever knows, he does not perceive the difference of substantial existence and non-existence. That is why it produces cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. There, whatsoever he knows, he does not identify its root cause and believes the contrary cause as to be the real cause. This is cause perversity. And whenever he knows, there he does not identify its basic substantial nature, rather, believes the contrary nature to be the real nature. This is nature perversity. And whatever he knows, there he does not identify that this is different from these and indivisible from these, rather believes divisibility and indivisibility contrarily. So, this is discriminative perversity. Thus, perversity is found in knowledge of a misbeliever. Just as an insane person understands mother as wife and wife as mother, in the same way the misbeliever knows contrarily. And just as that insane person also in some particular moment knows mother as mother and wife as wife, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. Therefore, his knowledge is not said to be right knowledge. Similarly, a misbeliever, if in some particular moment knows something correctly also, even then his knowledge is not backed by definitive and assertive belief. As he knows correctly also, from it he fulfills his purpose contrarily only. Therefore, his knowledge is not termed the right knowledge. Thus, misbeliever's knowledge is called wrong knowledge. So, may I continue?
Yes.
Question: what's the cause of this wrong knowledge? Answer: due to the rise of moha, which is faith deluding karma, the wrong belief is caused and the right belief is not evolved. This is the cause of wrong knowledge. Example: as due to the mixing of poison, the food also is termed as poison. Similarly, due to the relation with wrong belief, the knowledge is also termed as wrong knowledge. Question: why don't you call Jnana Varna Karma as to be the instrumental cause? Answer: due to the rise of Jnana Varna Karma, ignorance in the form of absence of knowledge is caused, and on account of its Shayopsham, somewhat manifestation of knowledge in the form of Mati Gyan, which is sensory knowledge, etc., takes place. If out of these we regard some aspect as wrong knowledge and some aspect as right knowledge, then both of these aspects are found in misbeliever as well as in true believer. Hence, both of them will be found possessing wrong knowledge and right knowledge, and this is against the fundamental principle. Therefore, Jnana Varna Karma is not established to be the instrumental cause of right or wrong knowledge. Question: what is the cause of wrong right knowledge about rope, snake, etc.? Why should not the same be described as the cause of wrong right knowledge about jeev, ajeev, etc. tattvas? Answer: whatever incorrectness is there in the knowing process, it is due to the rise of jnana varna karma. And whatever correctness is found, that is due to shayopsham of jnana varna karma. For example, someone knew a rope as a snake. There is the rise of obstructing cause of power of knowing correctly. That is why he knows incorrectly. And when he knew a rope as a rope, there is a cause of the power of knowing correctly is the Shayopsham of Jnana Varna Karma. That is why he knows correctly. Similarly, the instrumental cause in the manifestation and non-manifestation of the power of knowing the Jeev, Ajeev, etc. tattvas correctly is only of Jnana Varna Karma. But, for example, if due to Shayopsham Karma, some person possesses the power of knowing correctly, the substances which are the cause of sorrow and happiness. There, the one who has got the rise of asata vednya karma experiences those objects only which are the cause of sorrow and does not experience the object which are the cause of happiness. If only experience, if he could experience the objects of the cause, sorry, if he could experience the objects which cause happiness, then he may become happy. But that cannot be due to the rise of asata vednya karma. Therefore, he experiences the objects which cause sorrow and happiness, the instrumentality is not of the Jnana Varna Karma, but of the rise of Sata, Asata Sata Vednya Karma alone is the instrumental cause. Similarly, Jeev possesses the power of knowing correctly the Jeev, etc., purposeful tattvas, and the other unpurposeful objects. There, one who has the rise of faith deluding karma experiences and knows only those objects which are unpurposeful and does not know the purposeful tattvas. If he could know the purposeful tattvas, he may attain the right belief, but that cannot be due to the rise of mithyatva, which is faith deluding karma. Therefore, here, in knowing the purposeful and unpurposeful objects, the instrumental cause is not of jnana varna karma, but only that of the rise and non-rise of mithyatva, faith deluding karma. Here, one should know that in one sensed, etc., irrational being, where the power of knowing jeev, etc., tattvas correctly is not found, there, the rise of Jnana Varna Karma and wrong belief caused due to the rise of faith deluding karma, both are the instrumental cause. And in the rational human being, where the power of knowing exists due to the attainment of Shayopsham, etc., and even then one does not know the purposeful tattvas, there lies the instrumentality of faith deluding karma only. Therefore, Jnana Varna Karma is not stated to be the main cause of wrong knowledge, but the disposition caused due to the rise of Mithyatva, which is faith deluding karma only, is stated to be the cause of wrong knowledge.
Stop. So this we first understand. I'll just tell you the gist of all this discussion, that the one who knows the purposeful elements correctly, okay, his knowledge, his belief is right. And just because his belief is right, his knowledge is considered to be right. Okay. Because our objective is to get liberated. Okay. So when the purpose is to get liberated, the right belief comes first. Okay. But if the purpose is just of knowing, then the knowledge precedes the belief. Okay. So although we are manifesting right belief based on the basis of knowledge only, right? Everything is happening in the knowledge attribute only, right? Everything is happening in the modification of the knowledge attribute. So we are upgrading our knowledge attribute, right? Right. So, but what happens, is the path of liberation only begins with right belief. So in that case, first getting the right knowledge through knowledge attribute and then believing it to be right. So once the belief turns right, the knowledge turns right. Okay. So when we will talk about the path of liberation, the belief will come first. But as far as knowing is concerned, the knowledge comes first. Okay. So that is what being explained. First of all, I want to explain you the three faults, about the perverseness. So here it is. When a misbeliever knows, okay, he does not perceive there the difference of substantial existence and non-existence. That is why it produces cause perversity. Then why it produces cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. So we discussed three blemishes: doubt, perverseness, and indecision. Out of these three, the perverseness is further divided into three. Okay. So this perverseness are of three types: cause perversity, karan viparyay. The second is nature perversity, swarup viparyay. And the third is discriminative perversity, bheda bhed viparya. Okay. So this perversity is of three types: cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. Now first, cause perversity is explained in the next line. There, whatsoever he knows, he does not identify its root cause and believes the contrary cause as to be the real cause, This is called cause perversity. I'll give you 3 examples. Okay. Now, if you believe that the God is the doer of this universe, okay, this is called cause perversity. Because the God is not the doer of this universe, right? This universe is running on auto mode. And you believe that the God is the doer of this universe, then it is called the cause perversity. Okay. Second example, I acquire knowledge from the scriptures. Why it is cause perversity, Himali? Because knowledge is an attribute of the soul. The book is an external object. It's a matter substance. So how can I get knowledge from the book? So your cause is wrong. You are believing that you are getting knowledge from the scriptures. Although conventionally we may say that. But in the real sense, my knowledge attributes is manifesting in that way. It's knowing the correct things. And book is just an instrumental cause. Teacher is an instrumental cause. Right? So you have to understand this. So this is called cause perversity. This is the second example. The third example, I am manifesting anger because of anger passion, karma. There is anger karma corresponding to anger passion, right? So I am manifesting anger passion because of anger karma. So anger passion is being manifested in the soul, and anger karma is a modification of matter substance.
Matter. Udgal.
So how can matter cause an anger in a soul? So this is again a cause perversity. Of course, there is an instrumental cause, which is always an external substance. Okay. So this is called cause perversity. Now, the second kind of perversity was nature perversity. And whatever he knows, there he does not identify its basic substantial nature, rather believes the contrary nature as to the real nature. This is nature perversity. So second is nature perversity. So I will again give 3 examples of nature perversity. Okay. Soul and body, okay, are 2 different things, but I believe it to be one. This is called nature perversity. Because one is matter substance, other is soul substance, right? So how can that to be one? So this is called nature perversity. You don't know the nature of the soul and you don't know the nature of the body. One is a matter substance, one is a soul substance. The second example, the alien dispositions, okay? The alien dispositions and the soul are one. Okay. So alien disposition is different from the soul. Okay. That descriptive knowledge I don't have and I consider it as one. So this is again a nature perversity, because the nature of alien disposition is to cause sorrow. Okay. And the nature of the soul substance is just to know. So this is called nature perversity. The third example for nature perversity is nimit and upadan. Okay. Nimit is instrumental cause and upadan is principal cause. They both are one. So instrumental cause is always an external substance like karmas, and principal cause is always the where the action is being happening. Okay. So these two are different, and you consider is one. This is again nature perversity. Okay. Now we come to the third perversity, discriminative perversity. Discriminative, bhed, abhed, divisions and subdivisions. Okay. So the third one. And whatever he knows, there he does not identify that this is different from these and indivisible from these. Rather believes divisibility and indivisibility contrarily. So this is discriminative perversity. Okay. Now 3 examples for this discriminative perversity. Body and soul both combine and do the function. Okay. So this is called discriminative perversity, because here body is a different substance and soul is a different substance. Both cannot mix together and do the function of the body. Okay. So this is called discriminative perversity. You are not able to discriminate between the two. Okay. The third is, the second example is that substance and modification, okay, are somewhat one and somewhat different. Okay. But you believe it to be absolutely different or absolutely one. That is called discriminative perversity. Okay. Modification and substance are from some aspect one and some aspect different. Okay. So this is the correct nursing. But if you consider absolute one or absolute different, then it is a discriminative perversity. The third example, the substance and the attributes, okay, they are in the same space point. Okay. But you believe that they are into different space points, then that also is discriminative perversity. Okay. Because substance and attributes are in the same space point, and you believe that substance is in different space point and attributes are in different space point, then it is called discriminative perversity. Okay. So these are the 3 examples of 3 perversities. Okay. And where is the perversity coming from? The 3 blemishes that we discussed in the wrong knowledge. Okay. Doubt, perverseness, and indecisionness. Okay. So all these out of those 3, the second one, perverseness, has again 3 further division, and that is cause perversity, nature perversity, and discriminative perversity. In general, if you see, all these are cause of delusion. Because of these only the delusion persists. Okay. So now, thus perversity is found in the knowledge of a misbeliever. So these are the faults in the knowledge attribute. Okay. Knowledge function. Just as an insane person understands mother as wife and wife as mother, in the same way, the misbeliever knows the fundamental tattvas contrarily. There is an error in knowing the 7 fundamentals. Okay. And just as that infant person also in some particular moment knows mother as mother and wife as wife, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief. Therefore, his knowledge is not said to be the right knowledge. Similarly, a misbeliever, if in some particular moment knows something correctly, also, even then his knowledge is not backed by definite and assertive belief, or if he knows correctly also from if he fulfills his purpose contrarily only. Therefore, his knowledge is not termed as right knowledge. Thus, misbeliever knowledge is called wrong or is called wrong knowledge. So, belief is wrong, then knowledge is wrong. That is the simple bottom line. What is the cause of this wrong knowledge? So the cause of this wrong knowledge is not only the Jnana Varana karma, but Moniya karma. Okay? Because of Moniya karma, the belief is wrong. And when the belief is wrong, the knowledge is wrong. Okay? So this is explained in the next 2-3 questions that we read just now. And you read once it again. Okay? Once again. And if you have any doubt, you make me understand. Okay. So faith deluding karma, because of faith deluding karma, the wrong belief evolves, and because of wrong belief, the knowledge is also wrong. Okay. But having said that, all the workshop is happening in the knowledge itself. We are upgrading our knowledge. But unless and until the right belief evolves, we cannot term that knowledge as right knowledge. But nevertheless, the understanding is always the correct. Because one moment ago, before right belief, the knowledge is wrong. But understanding is proper, absolutely proper. And that's why the next moment you manifest the right belief, right? But we cannot term it as wrong, right knowledge just because the belief is wrong. So knowledge is wrong, because knowledge always follows the belief in the path of liberation. Okay. So path of liberation begins with right belief and not right knowledge. Right belief is the cause and right knowledge is the action. Okay. Todarmal ji, sorry, Pandit Daulat Ram ji, in the fourth dal, second stanza, you can see that the example of candle, deep and prakash, light, candle and light. If the candle is there, then light can evolve. Okay. If the candle is not there, the light cannot evolve. Okay. That's why the candle is called the cause and light is called the effect. Okay. So this is Karan Karya. Okay. So the belief is the Karan, cause, and Karya, right knowledge is the action. So belief is right, action, knowledge is right. Belief is wrong, knowledge is wrong. Okay. Now coming to the next question. Belief evolves on knowing. Therefore, why not say that wrong faith is preceded by wrong knowledge? Okay. It is so only. How can belief evolve without knowledge? Okay. But we have completed the time, although 5 minutes are over. So I will stop here only. We will continue this topic. So you will have further time to understand this wrong knowledge. Okay. And in conclusion, it will of course come that because of what is the fault in terms of wrong knowledge? That you are engaging your knowledge in other unpurposeful elements and not engaging it in understanding the 7 fundamentals. That much is the fault of wrong knowledge. Okay. So that you read this also and the conclusion also of the wrong knowledge. Okay. So I will just summarize the wrong knowledge, the remaining portion, and then we will move on to the nature of wrong conduct in the next class. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है।